Hello everyone, this is ChakaWhat here, and today I'm going to be presenting to you my top 5 LGBT characters of Grand Theft Auto. Even from the first game, the writers of GTA have included LGBT characters in their games. While they sometimes do take things too far and turn good rep into bad rep, most of the time I've actually been quite impressed with how the LGBT characters are written and how a few of them have actually helped me in realizing my own gayness. So this list will just really be celebrating that. Up at number 5, I have chosen the entirety of Lovefist. Lovefist is a Scottish heavy metal band comprised of Jez, Willie, Dick, and Percy. Their first appearance was in GTA Vice City, where their manager, Kent Paul, introduces them to the protagonist, Tommy Vercetti. The members of Lovefist are all incredibly sexually active bisexual men, a rather accusatory comment made by Tommy, and one of their songs, Dangerous Bastard, makes references to enjoying cross-dressing while they perform. Also, I just like Lovefist because they're some of the most innocent characters in the franchise, and their missions in Vice City are way too much fun. 4. Trevor Phillips. Canadian-born crazy man Trevor Phillips is incredibly open with his sexual behavior. Trevor lived in Sandy Shores, San Andreas, after the supposed death of his partner and close friend Michael DeSanta, formerly Michael Townley. Partnered with Ron Jakowski, Wade Hebert, and Chef, Trevor ran a meth lab and was also an arms dealer. He is incredibly open about his sexual experiences with women and men, saying that he's even given blowjobs and offerings to men, and in some cases sarcastically threatening sex to men. The story of GTA 5 takes Trevor all over Blaine County and Los Santos, through many dangerous missions and reuniting him with Michael and introducing him to Franklin, as they find themselves in and out of the eyes of crime cartels in the FIB. 3. Gay Tony Prince. According to the Maisonette 9's website, when Tony was a boy, he used to dream of living in Algonquin. He would stare into the monoglobe and wonder what life was like in other places. By the time he was 27, Tony came out openly as gay. He began opening nightclubs, though had trouble keeping them open. Eventually in 2003, he opened the successful Maisonette 9, and in 2005, he hired Luis Lopez. The two formed a familial relationship. Eventually, Tony began dating Evan Moss, but was dragged into a life of drug addiction and minor run-ins with crime bosses. Luis helped Tony dig himself out of his rut, and that eventually led him to a successful franchise deal with Yusuf Amir. Tony is known as the 20-year reigning king of Liberty City nightlife. 2. Elisa Torres. Elizabeth was born in Puerto Rico and moved to Bohan, Liberty City when she was 14, and grew up to be a very powerful baron in the underworld dealing drugs. She was rather close with Manny Escala and Mallory Bardaz, but she and Manny grew apart once he took on his cleaning up the streets persona. Elizabetta is a playful and sexually aggressive bisexual woman. By the time Nico Bellic and Johnny Klebitz meet her, she is infatuated with a Puerto Rican woman named Marta, who stays with Elizabetta in her apartment. She is a very big figure in the underworld, and I really just love Elizabetta, because she's got a lot of faults and a lot of good qualities, and she's just good rep all around. She's just this really strong bisexual woman. And for number 1, I have chosen Bernie Crane. Florian Kravich grew up in Serbia in the same village as Roman and Nico Bellic. He was very deep in the closet growing up, trying to act macho and even working in an abattoir, which he is ashamed of. He fought alongside Nico in the 15-man squad during the Yugoslav wars, and was one of the 3 to make it out alive. He later moved to Liberty City and adopted the name Bernie Crane, and felt comfortable enough to come out completely as gay. He began dating the hyper-conservative Deputy Mayor Bryce Dawkins, who turns out is also a closeted gay man. I'll be perfectly honest, Bernie is one of my all-time favorite Grand Theft Auto characters. I just love how richly his character was written, and how his story went from a deeply closeted, angry man to someone who just blossomed when he was able to be himself. Also, the fact that his missions in the game deal with fighting homophobia was just the icing on the cake. In some ways, I'm a bit of a Bernie myself, So despite some of his mannerisms dipping into stereotype, I think he's probably the most positive character for representation on this list. I hope you've enjoyed my list and found it helpful. While I do give the GTA games points for having this kind of representation in their games, I feel that they and video games as a whole could always be doing more. There's always room for healthy trans rep, lesbian rep, pansexual rep, ace and arrow rep, and much more. I myself am a gender fluid asexual and would love to be able to look at a screen or comic or book and just see that. That would be fantastic. I hope as more people begin to realize the excellent impact positive representation has, there will be more of it popping up everywhere. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
Do you believe in kissing, honey? You bet I do. Well, I believe in kissing, honey, when the moon is new.
So as many of you know, I am a citizen of the USA, and currently our country is suffering from a crisis at the border. Immigrants seeking asylum in the US are being detained. Families are being separated and kept in detention centers in horrible conditions. All of it is scary and horrible, and a bit hard to come to terms with. So until things start getting better, I'm placing this message at the end of all of my videos to try to use what little influence I have to bring awareness and help. There are a number of things you can do to help. One of the simplest things is to donate to Immigrant Families Together, who are fundraising money to pay the bonds of detained immigrants and also provide necessities to families such as hygiene products, food, and shelter. This organization is also looking for volunteers. You can also take direct action by calling your state's government's officials and try to make your voice heard, and also refuse to let your taxes go to fund these facilities. There are many groups online that are looking for help to make sure these people are treated like human beings and receiving the help they desperately need. Let's prove that there is still hope for humanity and help solve this crisis in the most humane way possible. Remember, showing kindness isn't political, it's just the right thing to do. Thank you.